welcome to Spin Cycle with Feleena Sutton. Thank you once again for joining us for another week, and special thanks to both Mike and Robin Briggs for helping to make the Spin Cycle happen. Today we're going to have a very, very active show. Chuck Leonard is going to join me. Together we're going to do a bit of a PSA, a public service announcement about Valentine's Day, to make sure that you stay away from those bad gifts that are out there, and that will keep you in love. We're also going to have Jared Gordon, who's an attorney at law and author of Measure F, talking about what's going on in the city of Fresno, and finally putting a debate to end that Measure F does not stand for Measure Feleena. And also we're going to have Kathy Caples from Hands On Central California. Kathy is such a wonderful and dear lady who's going to give us reasons to volunteer and places where we can go and help out. So for today's show, let's just get started. I want to say happy birthday to a couple of famous people out there. Celebrating today is Mina Savare. She's from American Beauty and is 34 years young. Jerry Springer from The Jerry Springer Show. He's checking in at 69. And Peter Tork of the Monkees is 71. I had such a big crush on Peter way back in the 70s, so I send an extra hug to you today, Peter. And thanks for all the wonderful music that you've given us over the years. Well, a lot of news right now. Folks are talking about the Grammy Awards. Ratings for Sunday night's 55th Grammy Awards, in fact, were down this year. Approximately 28.3 million viewers tuned in to the broadcast, down from 39.1 million who watched last year. However, even with this loss, the show was still the second best Grammy audience since 1993. And still talking about those great award shows. The cast of the Oscar-winning film Chicago, which is one of my most favorite films out there, they're going to reunite at the 85th Annual Academy Awards. Renee Zellweger, Richard Gere, Queen Latifah, and Catherine Zeta-Jones will all attend the event as presenters. The 85th Annual Academy Awards is going to air February 24th on ABC. And in movie news, we have Sandra Bullock. She's going to voice the villain in the upcoming Despicable Me spin-off, The Minions. And the Minions are so cute. We're going to have them here with the Bananas song in the background. I just love them. She's going to play Scarlet Overkill, a stylish, badass supervillain who is bent on world domination. The 3D CG animated comedy is going to be released December 19th, 2014, and that's almost too long to make me wait for those cute little minions. I just can't get enough of them. In serious news, ABC News has landed an interview with Amanda Knox, the exchange student who was freed from an Italian jail in October 2011. That's where she had served nearly 4 years in connection with the death of her roommate, Meredith Kircher. The interview is going to be Knox's first since her release, and it's going to be conducted by Diane Sawyer. It'll air on April 30th, the same day as Knox's book about her ordeal is going to be published. And as most folks out there know, I'm a mom and I certainly love my babies. So here's a little something for discussion between us moms. We're going to show you a picture of a mom from England who is facing some very harsh criticism after taking her 4-month-old baby to a rave. Sarah Jane Hulme, age 41, she's pictured here with son Django. They went to the rave last week. Now, apparently, the mom went to see her 23-year-old daughter perform with her band, and she just did not see anything wrong with totting her tot along. Hulme says that she put ear protectors on the infant, and they were so effective that little Django slept through the whole performance. Well, moms and dads out there, is there anything you would like to say to this mom? If so, you can always give us a call. Our call-in number is 475-8711. That's 475-8711, and we would especially like it if you would Skype us with your thoughts. You can reach us at central.valley.talk. But now I want to give you a little something cute just to end the segment on. I love pandas, and we've had a new addition to the San Diego Zoo recently. This is panda cub Xiaoling Wei Wu. He recently made his exhibit right there at the San Diego Zoo. The name Xiaoling Wei Wu in English is translated to little gift. Well, folks can see little Xiaoling Wei Wu every day from 9 to 11:30 a.m. If you're not in San Diego, you can always jump on your laptop. You can find him at sandiegozoo.org/pandacam. That's sandiegozoo.org/pandacam, and I guarantee it's just going to put a smile on your face when you see that little panda do his tricks. So again, today an exciting show. Chuck Leonard is going to be up next. We're going to talk about Valentine's Day. Let's think about those gifts you love and those gifts you hate. We'll have that right here on Spin Cycle coming up next.
Tantastic Tans and Boutique is your one-stop shop for beauty and fashion needs. Located on the southwest corner of Herndon and Milburn, Tantastic Tans and Boutique is open 7 days a week, from 10 to 7 on weekdays and 10 to 6 Saturday and Sunday. We offer top-of-the-line tanning equipment, including 20-minute beds, 12-minute beds, 12-minute stand-up beds, and we also have a high-pressure Supernova Ultra Bronze bed. In addition to tanning, we offer teeth whitening starting at $39.99. Fantastic Tans and Boutique offers a full boutique of women and children's clothing and accessories. Come in and check out our LA Idol shorts and capris. Find us on Facebook.com/TantasticTans or call 432-TANS. That's 432-8267.
Hey guys, are you watching CentralValleyTalk.com? Are you under 30 or under 30 at heart? Because if you are, you should be watching my show, Basically Branded, 10:30 p.m. on Wednesday nights. Mark your calendars, you guys, because it's chaos here on Wednesday nights. We have animals, reptiles, cheetahs, actors, singers. It's chaos. And you guys need to be watching, because it might sound like I'm describing Barnum and Bailey's Circus, but I'm actually describing my web show, Basically Brandon, on Wednesday nights, 10:30 p.m.
President of CentralValleyTalk.com. In these tough economic times, we've got to find creative ways to reach our advertisers and our clients. CentralValleyTalk.com gets 50,000 hits every single month. We could put your advertisement on CentralValleyTalk.com and you can enjoy those 50,000 hits for as little as a penny per hit. Call me at the Mike Briggs Properties Building at 486-6758. Advertise on CentralValleyTalk.com. Call 486-6758.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Do you and your loved ones feel safe and secure in your home? Now the #1 rated security system in America is offering this special for a limited time, a complete home security system with free equipment, no install fee, and no activation fee. Just a low monitoring fee for only $19.99 a month. Call now, 270-4697. That's 270-4697. A complete home security system for only $19.99 a month. Get the protection you need and should have for your home and family. Call now, 270-4697.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Welcome back to the Spin Cycle with Feleena Sutton. Well, I think it's no secret that tomorrow is Valentine's Day. For some folks, that could be a really dicey issue. We don't want it to be dicey for you at all. So I've invited Chuck Leonard to come in from Central Valley Buzz, because together we thought we would do a public service announcement to make sure that you can skip over those landmines. What we're saying here is definitely under any circumstances, you should not buy any of the gifts that Chuck and I are going to show you today. So the first question, of course, is there a gift that you have received that you really love for Valentine's Day, or that you really dislike for Valentine's Day? Chuck, do you have, is there anything that comes to mind for you?
Well, hello everyone, and I have, up until just recently, I never had a Valentine before. Well, I did,
a true love?
I was married one time.
You were married?
Yeah, I was married at one time, but she never got me a gift.
That's not a good Valentine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's best that you're not married anymore.
I'm thinking, yes, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Because I will say, I have two friends of mine that one year, so this is a married couple, his Valentine gift to her was sending digital roses. So that's to be the computer.
Nice. Save those roses.
That couple no longer married. I would just it's along that vein.
I have a friend of mine that before Valentine's Day, Christmas, and birthdays, he always just breaks up with them.
But when you've got 17 years invested into the marriage, like I do, you have to make an effort.
Have you been married for 17 years? I bet you've gotten some great gifts over the years, haven't you?
Always, but I've loved all of them because I'm easy. Bring me a bottle of wine, bring me a box of chocolates, I'm happy. I don't expect a lot. I don't want a lot of money spent. I want to be with my loved one, and it's just that simple.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Glad to hear you're happy and looking forward to Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
I am looking forward to Valentine's Day this year, though. Yes, I am.
Okay. Are you going to do something special that we should not announce?
Probably not, because I've been told not to do that on Valentine's Day because it's just too cheesy.
Okay, that's okay, because listening to your loved one, that is an excellent
Have
step.
you met Kim?
I have.
Yeah, you listen
to her.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. Well, I want to show folks some things that Chuck and I have developed here that, again, under no circumstances should this be your Valentine's gift. So coming up, our very first picture, while practical in nature, is still a no-go for Valentine's Day. This is an I love you on toilet paper.
Are those lips on?
Those are hearts.
They're hearts
and lips.
Yes.
And I love you messages.
The lips on them. They should have lips on them. Just whip it out in emergency situations.
So this is what does one say when receiving toilet paper as a gift? Because I don't think you get it at Costco.
They'd say to me, think of me every morning.
Oh, is that the idea? See, maybe I was missing the original intent of the whole gift. I don't know, but I think you might have to again just kind of sit down and question where you are in your relationship.
Maybe that's one for when you're old. Like you've given all these great gifts over
the Depends diaper.
Well, you've given all these great gifts over all the years, and now it's time to just give the funny one. Like you've done all the impressing that you're ever going to do. Here, have some toilet paper.
Okay. Well, if it's made, maybe you could get it monogrammed or something like that.
Braille.
I might use that. Folks, if you want to chime in on any of these gifts, our phone number here is 475-8711. You could also Skype us at central.valley.talk. Now, no relationship is perfect. I think we can all agree on that. It's all a give and take.
I'm taking the fifth.
Okay, that is okay. I'll put you on the spot. Self-help books. I love that. I try to read at least one or two a year. I want to better myself. However, Valentine's Day, really not the time for self-help. And this is the book that we come up with, 1,000 ways that you can be a better woman. I think, guys, if you're walking in the door with that book, just don't even bother to knock. Just keep walking down the street.
Honey, I love you. There's just 1,000 things you have to change about yourself.
I don't think that's really a good way to start off. Now, these books really do exist. People really have written these. We're not making this up. This is not.
It's probably written by a woman. It was probably.
Who knows ourselves better? But I mean, this is not a Photoshop job, is what I'm telling you. These are real, actual gifts. And I want you to stay away from them, especially you, Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
We've got to get you going with Kim there. So, general book ideas, maybe something about I love yous, maybe a nice poem, if somebody has a favorite author or something. But the self-help, definitely a no-go. I mean, do you have any words of wisdom?
I would stay away from that one for sure.
Okay. Just enough said?
Yes.
Okay. Now, listening is very important to your loved one. So this is a rule I want to give you with an exception.
I'm a good listener.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Especially at Valentine's Day, when gifting a woman, I would not give her anything that plugs into the wall.
Whoa, Feleena.
Unless she has specifically requested it.
Oh, you're talking about vacuums, like appliances.
So anything that has to do with cleaning. I say, unless she has specifically asked for that vacuum cleaner or the steam mop or any other electrical device. You do not gift that to her unless she has precisely asked for it beforehand.
That's something you could give to me, and I'd be really happy about.
That would be a good Valentine's Day gift for you?
Yeah, because I'm kind of a germaphobe anyway.
Okay.
I'm the one that's always like, oh God, the fork touched the table.
Oh, okay. Kim, I hope you're listening. However,
she knows.
Just think of in my household, we share the work, but I tend to take the brunt of it. I think that's
I like that you call it the brunt of it.
It is
because you love it so much.
Well, I've got that OCD thing too. I mean, pillows have to be a certain way. You have to vacuum on certain days. You have to mop on certain days.
You know what I have?
And I accept that.
I have what is it? ADOS.
ADOS.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's adult deficit. Ooh, shiny. Easily distracted.
You're Doug the dog
right?
from the movie Squirrel.
There you go.
Okay, I get it. So, guys, don't give her anything that plugs in.
I love this one. I love the next one.
Okay, this next one coming up. It is a clever advertising campaign. I'll give the industry that. But I really think it's going to be a swing and a miss if you bring this to your Valentine's Day.
One day it'll come in handy.
As it comes up, this is, I love you, and you have no idea what it's going to cost or the pain you're going to go through to have to bury me because I'm going to die first. So I'm taking care of the funeral expenses for Valentine's Day.
Wouldn't that be awesome? I'd love to read the small print on that one.
The fine print. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to be in any way disingenuous to that industry. I think planning ahead is very important.
It's cheaper to buy now.
It is cheaper to buy now. I just would not consider that a Valentine's Day gift for a loved one, should you want them to remain your loved one.
Not Valentine's Day, but maybe another holiday.
What holiday?
I don't know. Just not Valentine's
President's
Day.
You were celebrating
It depends on what president, right?
Here's the casket that I choose for myself. I don't know I don't think that needs to be a gift. Needs to be done, but does need to be a gift in that sense.
He was the great emancipator. Here's your funeral expense, right?
Yeah. I don't know. That's again, it's clever advertising to get people to talk about it and to think about it.
I think it's a good sales job on the newspaper guy to get that in and make it a Valentine's gift. Hey, I got this great idea. But for Valentine's Day, we'll run an ad.
Yeah. Okay, way to go, advertising guru from the paper.
I wonder how many people of those have bought those for their wives for Valentine's Day, and then real close after that, she becomes
a widow.
Or the other way around. It's like,
okay.
Buy in advance.
I love it. Yeah. Shop early, shop often, shop local.
Shop hard.
Okay. So I've got a personal question for you for this next item.
Oh, gosh.
Manscaping is a real huge issue right now. Some gentlemen do eyebrows, the chest area.
Not me. You don't touch these eyebrows.
Okay.
That's part of my trademark, yeah.
It's your trademark. Okay, so there is zero manscaping on your part.
No.
Okay.
I freak out when I go get a haircut.
Really?
I'm keep it away from my ears. Because sometimes they want to stick it in your ear. And,
yes, well, you have hair there.
No, don't do that because it'll grow back thicker. I know it.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the point here. Gentlemen, should you like to choose manscaping, there is a way to go about it. Okay.
I don't really think that's what it's called.
Well, for gentlemen, if it's your first time out, I suggest that you start with your eyebrows. You can really shape your face nicely if you go to a professional, have it done. I'm going to warn you, men usually cry. Okay, the first time out.
Oh, you mean painful. Waxing?
Yes, that's what manscaping is.
Oh, well, I didn't know if they shaved it off.
No. We're not going to draw them in with pencils. No. Okay, so there's a good manscaping.
Okay.
There's also
I'm with you now.
Okay, there's also bad manscaping, and I want to make sure that you don't fall into this trap for Valentine's Day. This is a picture of bad manscaping.
Oh no,
okay.
It's Wolverine.
But it's a heart.
That can't be real. Do people really have backs like that?
I actually have a family member.
Is that in America?
There's a rumor that it's not. That this is very Ukrainian, perhaps. I don't know.
You say Ukrainian. That's so funny because I have Ukrainian nephews.
Do you? Do they manscape?
No. They're just children. And my sister's married to the Ukrainian guy. And so what I do is I go behind them because they're real proud to be Ukrainians. And
okay.
Whatever. And so they got like flags up in their house of them.
Awesome.
And so what I do is I take the little boys aside and I tell them, Ukrainian's not a real place, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Look at that silly flag up there. I mean, like, that would be somebody's flag.
Geography with Chuck Leonard, everybody. That's awesome. So if you're going to manscape, Ukrainian or not, regardless of your country of origin, don't start with the back area and don't start with shapes like that. Start easy, get the eyebrows done.
Now,
if that doesn't make you cry a river, then you can move south.
Now, wait a minute here. Maybe that's not a heart.
You think that could be a different shape?
Maybe he's trying for wings.
Like an angel?
Maybe he's trying for
smile
wings
away.
there.
Okay.
It's kind of scary looking. And now, why would he do it on the back, though? Wouldn't he do it on the front? I mean, shouldn't he do it on the front?
I'm a little scared to think of what's on the front, Chuck.
Maybe
if
nothing.
that's what's on the back.
Right.
We've really got to put some thought into what's on the front.
Well, isn't she going to see the front more?
I don't know. It's the Ukraine. I don't know.
Kinky over there.
I know. So, folks, honestly, I just want to tell you, listen to your Valentine.
Kim and I were walking through Rite Aid, and out of nowhere, she's glaring at me.
What did I
do? She said she's looking at the candy boxes there, and she goes, "Don't you ever buy me one of these candy boxes from Rite Aid."
From Rite Aid.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't like corporate places and she wants local?
No, she's a vegan.
She's a vegan.
Yeah.
Vegans can't eat candy?
No, milk
Because of the
and the
milk
chocolate. Yeah. Dark chocolate sometimes.
No.
Yeah, the really good stuff.
Do you realize that in my household, a day without chocolate is a very bad day? That's a day that we don't even get out of bed. That's got to be rough.
A few weeks ago, you had Whole Foods Market on the show.
Yes.
And they were talking about that 28-day challenge, and I'm into my 13th day now.
High five.
So yeah, we're doing pretty good.
I'm so proud of you, but I'm hardcore. You cannot take away my wine. You cannot.
You
take
can
away
drink
my
wine, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's vegan.
Yeah, wine is vegan.
Is alcohol vegan? The hard
Sure.
stuff?
Yeah.
Then
It's
why
plant-based.
am I not vegan? Okay.
It's
It's just putting the slice of bacon into the martini. That's the no-go there.
No, I don't think I'd do that.
Yeah?
Maybe some tofurkey.
It's ugly. Oh my goodness, I love it. So, our Valentine's Day tradition, just to share with you.
Good.
This is, talk about bad planning on a man's part. My husband, who I've been married to for 17 years, asked me out the week before Valentine's Day. That was our first date.
He was jumping
And we
right
liked
in.
each other, and it's kind of like, well, where do you go from there? And I thought, I don't want to put too much pressure on him. He's a nice guy. I'm interested. So I offered to make him dinner for Valentine's Day. There may have been some begging and pleading on my part. I'm not too proud to announce
pressure.
that. So no. So I made dinner for him, and he's just very quiet and very low key. So that's our tradition now, because I don't like crowds, Chuck, and I'm not going to stand in line. I'm not going to stand in line for 4 hours.
I take babies to raves.
Okay. That's awesome. That's one thing I haven't done. So we're going to just kind of keep it quiet, keep it low. Our daughter will be there, and we'll smooch in front of her, and we're going to make her feel embarrassed.
She doesn't have a
So we're gonna
boyfriend?
do that. She's 12.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe she doesn't.
She does not.
Let me
have a
ask you
boyfriend.
this. Now, you said, when you met your husband,
Yeah.
was it like first date and then never went back to, I mean, it's just like it was on from there?
We met and were engaged 4 weeks later.
No kidding.
Two of those weeks, he was out of the country.
Oh.
So I mean, we knew each other for 2 weeks, gone for 2 weeks. He comes back, he lands the plane, he comes over and asks me to marry him.
Really? You guys must have some great phone calls.
Bing, bang, boom. So, no, it was just kind of a done deal for both of us. We found our soulmates.
Okay, so you met, and then how long till you were actually married?
So we met in February. We were married that October.
No kidding.
No
so,
kidding.
but 8 months.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And 17 years later, it kind of worked.
Did you do the big wedding and everything?
It was smallish. No, we were going to buy a home. Because he was living in an apartment and I was living with my mom, and it was more important for me to put money into the home. So we did an entire wedding in 1995 for $3,000.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm the penny pincher. Found a used dress, a $3,000 dress to buy for
I believe in
$250.
it.
So.
I believe, save the trees.
The tree, no, I didn't wear a tree. It was tree free.
Awesome. So what else did you do? I'm sure a lot of people out there would love to know how to do a wedding on the cheap?
Well, I got my flowers from Fresno State.
You went and picked them?
No, no. They actually have a program there where they grow them, and you can kind of get them on the cheap a little bit.
Really?
And friends
Do
and
they still
family
do that?
members. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Maybe you should check it out for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'll
just go pick them.
Yeah. Is this a weed or is it a flower? I'm not sure. That's kind of where I end up. So. Yeah.
And so you had a reception and everything?
Yeah, we did. In some cases, instead of gifts, because we had a household, we asked that family members put money towards a nice little buffet.
Nice.
And it worked out well. The point wasn't for us to be lavish.
Right.
The point for us was to say, this is our declaration of love. We're out of here. Got to go.
Awesome.
So, and then we went back to our home. Yeah.
And that's a good message for everyone for Valentine's Day right there.
Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing the message with me,
Oh,
Chuck.
it was fun.
So now folks can catch you this Friday, 4 to 6, Central Valley Buzz.
Actually, no, they're going to catch you
they're
this
catching
Friday
me. That's right,
from
I'm
4 to
going
6
in.
on the Central Valley Buzz because I'm taking off to Pasadena to go to my first Zine Fest.
A zine. Tell folks real quick, what's a zine fest? So they know.
Well, you know what a zine is, everybody, right?
The tiny magazine.
A zine is a handmade magazine. They can be big or they can be small, and some of them are hand-bound. Cool. And it's really cool, artsy stuff, and we're going to go down to L.A. and hang out down there and check out the Zine Fest.
Awesome. Okay, will you drive safe?
Always.
I'm going to hold down the fort for you right here at Central Valley Talk. This is Spin Cycle. When we come back, we're going to have Jared Gordon.
I cannot believe how expensive funerals are today. Nancy said she spent more than $12,000 on John's service. Now, when Mom took ill, we went to Sterling & Smith and prearranged her funeral for less than half of what Nancy spent. Sterling & Smith has a beautiful facility, professional staff, and packages that start below $3,000. It was more than a funeral. It was truly a celebration of life.
At Sterling & Smith, we believe that a high-quality service should be affordable to everyone. Let us help you plan for the inevitable. Call us today, because you just don't know about tomorrow.
Hey guys, are you watching CentralValleyTalk.com? Are you under 30 or under 30 at heart? Because if you are, you should be watching my show, Basically Branded, 10:30 p.m. Monday and Wednesday nights. Mark your calendars, you guys, because it's chaos here on Monday and Wednesday nights. We have animals, reptiles, cheetahs, actors, singers. It's chaos. And you guys need to be watching because it might sound like I'm describing Barnum and Bailey's circus, but I'm actually describing my web show, Basically Brandon, Monday and Wednesday nights, 10:30 p.m.
You can advertise your business, your product, or your event on Central Valley Talk, the Valley's only internet television station. Several of our programs are also picked up on Dish and cable networks. For the best advertising dollar, call Central Valley Talk at 579-1360.
Proper voice, Cecil's choice, Chuck Leonard on CentralValleyTalk.com. We can all get along, listen to the guitar play.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
So I'm gonna take my money, I'm not gonna pay his rent. I got a brand new attitude and I'm gonna wear it tonight. I wanna get in trouble, I wanna start a fight.
Hey, thanks for coming back to Spin Cycle with Feleena Sutton. Thanks to Chuck Leonard for helping me get out a public service announcement on what you should and should not do for Valentine's Day. Now, right now, I want to take on a more serious issue for Fresno. I'm sitting next to Jared Gordon, attorney at law, who's been very active in the Measure F issue, and F does not stand for Feleena. So, Jared, I feel that you're the author of Measure F, but you feel that there are many authors, and so I just want to be fair and make sure that we credit everybody that had something to do with it.
Well, the city council ultimately wrote Measure F, and so the final language is all of the city councils, and the city council got the ideas and some of the language that they ultimately used from the City of Fresno Charter Review Committee, of which I was a member, and
Okay.
I simply did the scrivener's job of writing down some of the general ideas that the committee had in regards to these particular issues. So I'm not the author. I'm really just maybe sort of the first person who contributed to the final wording.
Well, we're grateful for your contribution. Okay. I want to give the folks just a little bit of history. Measure F was passed by our citizens on November 6th, and it was very successful. It's a measure calling for financial responsibility right here in the city of Fresno. So my first question is, that seems like such a natural idea that a city should be financially responsible, but it seems Fresno has a history that hasn't been quite so responsible. So in that, I'm thinking of, we had the Granite Park issue, we have Chachansey with our ballpark, we have the Metropolitan Museum. Explain to folks what happened there that wasn't responsible.
Well, I think it's important to understand that a lot of our financial problems that we face as a city today, the city of Fresno, are problems that we inherited largely from the early 2000s and late 2000s, during the Autry administration, essentially. Although he's, as a mayor, certainly not the only person to blame.
No, Alan's a great guy, but we're just talking the history.
Yeah, the city council is the one who ultimately votes on these deals. So what essentially happened is the city took on enormous amounts of debt, just like everyone else seemed to be doing in that decade.
Right.
So, the citizens of Fresno bought a lot of houses that they couldn't afford. The city of Fresno did the government equivalent. So it bought a baseball stadium that it couldn't really afford. And then it decided to buy a convention center parking lot that it couldn't really afford. And it then backstopped loans to the Metropolitan Museum, which if the Metropolitan Museum failed to pay it back, the city of Fresno couldn't really afford to backstop it. It then did the same thing with Granite Park, and it passed the No Neighborhood Left Behind bonds, which arguably it could afford, but in the light of all the rest of this debt, really it couldn't afford. And the city of Fresno's credit ratings on its bonds reflect its relative inability to pay back those debts now.
So the city was saying to its citizens, we're going to take your tax dollars and pay for these programs. So if the program isn't successful, what happens to the taxpayer?
Well, really, I think it's not fair to say we're going to take your tax dollars and pay for these programs. What the city of Fresno really did is it said, we're going to take the tax dollars of people for the next 30 years, and no matter who those people vote for in the future, we're taking their tax dollars now, and we're going to use them for these purposes.
Okay.
That's really what the city did. And in fact, that idea, the idea that we shouldn't bind future city councils and future citizen voters to spending is sort of the animating idea behind Measure F, and that's what the City of Fresno Charter Review Committee really focused on, this idea that unless there's a really substantial consensus, we should not be binding future taxpayers in excessive debt like was done in the last decade.
So something like the baseball park or Granite Park, that should all be private development dollars and no government money, ideally?
Ideally.
Okay.
And Measure F doesn't actually prohibit that. What it does is it makes it harder to pass. So there's policies that the city government has to have in place, and those policies actually are largely already in place because of measures that Councilmember Lee Brand brought as City of Fresno ordinances, but they're not part of the charter. So what the charter does essentially is it forces the City of Fresno to have those plans in place, and they could change them in the future from what they've already passed, but they are what they are right now, at least. And in order to change them or to do something contrary to them, not only does the city council have to then change that policy, they also have to get a supermajority to change that policy.
That's a very important key that I want to talk about as we go along. So rather than having what would be 5 of 9 city council members decide,
or 4 of 7.
I'm sorry,
right
4 of 7 to put money towards something, they have to have a supermajority.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell folks what Measure F is going to accomplish for us now that it's bringing responsible government.
Well, I don't know that anything can bring responsible government, but it can bring more responsible government. And the idea really is that we're going to enter into a lot less of this unaffordable debt into the future as a result of Measure F. And, it's a wise thing that the city of Fresno adopted it. I think we're going to have a lot fewer of these projects that we just simply can't afford, and a lot more thoughtful consideration of these large obligations of the city in the future whenever we undertake something like that in the future. And there will be a day in the future where a different city council and a different budget environment wants to consider big projects like this again, and they're going to have a much different format in which to consider those. They'll have a lot more information about the impacts, and it will be more difficult for them to bind future city voters.
You know, I certainly hate to admit to being wrong, but I was wrong on the Met. I really wanted the city to get behind the Met so that we could have art right here in Fresno, and yet that failed. How can I end up getting a beautiful museum to take my daughter to that has only private funding that keeps the city out of it? And I mean, I don't want to ask you an unfair question, but that's where my mind is with people, that I want Fresno to be a beautiful city. I want us to have these amenities. And we can't quite lift that bat off our shoulder, which is why the city got involved in the first place. What's my panacea, Jared? And again, maybe that's not a fair question to you, but you're a really smart guy, and I think if anybody could make it happen, you could make it happen.
I don't know huge amounts about the details of the Met situation. What I do understand is that they went radically over their planned budget in renovating their building. And I really think that it was an internal problem of the Met.
That the city
it wasn't something the city shouldn't have backstopped, but the city couldn't have solved it. They couldn't have solved it, other than that they could have chosen to do something much cheaper than they ultimately did. Part of that had to do with I think, ran into asbestos or something like that they had to remediate.
Well, it's an old building. I could see that.
Right. So strategically, it was a poor choice probably for them to make some of those renovations, with the knowledge that was probably going to happen to them.
Okay.
But we do still have other cultural institutions, and I think we'll have something like the Met again. We have the Art Center, and it's, as far as I know, basically privately funded, maybe with some grants here and there. And we can have a museum like that, like the Met. Again, it just isn't something that the city of Fresno should be paying for. The citizens of Fresno should donate to it. I would be happy to donate to it, but it's not something that we should force people to donate. And when things are paid for through government, it is the equivalent of forcing people to donate to a cause.
When it should be done privately.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. So what else can we expect from Measure F?
Well, so that's the general idea of Measure F. There are sort of more details. And one of the things that I think you'll see is that if there are private sector actors who want to come and get a guarantee or any kind of financial assistance from the city of Fresno, now they have a much more rigorous process.
Okay.
And although the details of that process, again, aren't spelled out by Measure F.
on it. Okay.
Well, no, it's in place. That was something that was in place by ordinance already.
Okay.
Another Lee Brand ordinance. But it'll be difficult for the city of Fresno and the chamber or the council rather to make changes to that ordinance and to change their policy for a one-off deal. So if there's just some
no exceptions,
politically popular cause,
okay,
it will be difficult. They have to actually change their policy, and in changing that policy, the charter review committee's hope was that would trigger some outrage with people, that people would realize, hey, we're making a really big change in the way that the city of Fresno does business just for this one thing, and maybe that doesn't make sense. Maybe we should make them jump through those hoops. And they're sensible hoops.
Okay. Is it fair to say that other cities have encountered what we have with the bonding process?
Oh, absolutely. And the city of Fresno is not by any means alone in California.
We're not Bell, California. Right?
Well, we didn't give away all of our money to the city manager, and I'm sure that there's a couple ex-city managers who are unfortunate and sad about that. Andy Sousa, in the off chance you're listening and not out there getting food, I'm sure that you could have had a really nice mansion by Shaver Lake if you'd gone the Bell route. But fortunately, Andy's not that kind of guy. And Bell is not really a good example of what is similar, but Stockton actually is sort of Fresno writ a little worse. And so they actually are going into the bankruptcy process most likely because they borrowed even more than Fresno did relative to their economy, and had even worse union deals than Fresno did. So that combination is just lethal in this economic environment in the Central Valley. So we'll see more cities going into bankruptcy, and Fresno is not out of the woods yet. I thought they would be, but as of this morning, it looks like the residential trash privatization is not going to go through, and there's either going to be a lot of layoffs or a fiscal emergency or both.
Do you have a gut feeling when things do get better? We're probably talking at least a decade? Am I being too
no,
pessimistic?
less than a decade.
Okay.
But when things will turn around in the Central Valley, or especially in the city of Fresno in particular, I just don't know. I think, maybe if we're lucky on some water years, that maybe the rural parts of the Central Valley will turn around, and the city of Fresno maybe a little after it. I think we're going to limp along at about the growth level that we're at now, and we're going to stay at about the same unemployment for at least a couple years. And it's tragic. It doesn't have to be that way, but we operate under rules that are designed for people who live in the coast and who have lots of money already, and they don't grow a lot of things, and they don't create a lot of things in terms of manufacturing, which is the things that we do here. And when you operate under rules that aren't designed for your economy suffers.
As do we.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell folks where they can get all the information that they might want to find on Measure F in case they want to lend their voice?
Well, in case you want to find out what was already passed by the citizens of Fresno, you can go
read more. You can always
read
more.
You can read more. You can go to Fresno.gov, which is the city of Fresno's website, and you can find out more about it there and read the actual resolution is ultimately approved by the city council.
And at the end of the day, we're just asking for financial responsibility.
That's right.
F,
It's just about being financially responsible. There's no ideology either way. It's just if government does something, it should do it right and responsibly.
Do it right the first time, for heaven's sake. Well, Jared, I know you say you're one of many voices, but I still want to thank you. I know that you put a lot of work into this, that you've put a lot of backbone and a lot of heavy lifting into it. So thank you for trying to make Fresno just a better place to live in.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. That's Jared Gordon, attorney at law. Coming up next, we're going to talk about how you can volunteer on Hands On Central California.
Fantastic Tans and Boutique is your one-stop shop for beauty and fashion needs. Located on the southwest corner of Herndon and Milburn, Fantastic Tans and Boutique is open 7 days a week, from 10 to 7 on weekdays and 10 to 6 Saturday and Sunday. We offer top-of-the-line tanning equipment, including 20-minute beds, 12-minute beds, 12-minute stand-up beds, and we also have a high-pressure Supernova Ultra Bronze bed. In addition to tanning, we offer teeth whitening starting at $39.99. Fantastic Tans and Boutique offers a full boutique of women and children's clothing and accessories. Come in and check out our LA Idol shorts and capris. Find us on Facebook.com/TantasticTans or call 432-TANS. That's 432-8267.
Hey guys, are you watching CentralValleyTalk.com? Are you under 30 or under 30 at heart? Because if you are, you should be watching my show, Basically Branded, 10:30 p.m. on Wednesday nights. Mark your calendars, you guys, because it's chaos here on Wednesday nights. We have animals, reptiles, cheetahs, actors, singers. It's chaos. And you guys need to be watching because it might sound like I'm describing Barnum and Bailey's Circus, but I'm actually describing my web show, Basically Brandon, on Wednesday nights, 10:30 p.m.
President of CentralValleyTalk.com. In these tough economic times, we've got to find creative ways to reach our advertisers and our clients. CentralValleyTalk.com gets 50,000 hits every single month. We could put your advertisement on CentralValleyTalk.com and you can enjoy those 50,000 hits for as little as a penny per hit. Call me at the Mike Briggs Properties building at 486-6758. Advertise on CentralValleyTalk.com. Call 486-6758.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Get in trouble, I wanna start a fight. Na 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 na, I wanna start a fight. Na 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 na, I wanna start a fight.
Oh, welcome back to Spin Cycle. This is Feleena Sutton. We're so excited to have you back. Special thanks, of course, to Jared Gordon for telling us what's happening with Measure F and how that's going to make the city of Fresno a much better place to live. And thanks to Chuck Leonard. We had such a fun time talking earlier about Valentine's Day. But now I want to make this a little bit more about the community than we already have. Let's talk about volunteering with Hands On Central California. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Please announce your name for me again.
I'm Nicole Traverso, the Volunteer Connections Director with Hands On.
Oh, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank
You know, I've known Kathy Caples for a couple of years now, and I've just always been impressed that she has such a heart for the community.
She really does.
And that Hands On Central California really wants to make Fresno a better place. So I wanted to connect you with the viewers that we have out there to learn about the wonderful volunteer opportunities that you have, Nicole.
Yeah, well, Hands On is the Volunteer Action Center here, so all we do is connect people to volunteer opportunities in the community. We always have a lot going on. Currently, we have a great opportunity coming up in March on the 16th and 17th called Healthy Fresno, and so we're connecting volunteers to this event that's providing a free medical clinic for everybody in our community.
That's incredible. So do folks, I mean, do they have to walk in with their tax returns and show how much they've made in order to get help, or is everybody welcome?
Everybody's welcome, but it's all about medical. So people can come and get screenings, they can get dental screenings, they can get their eyes checked out, they can get acupuncture. I mean, there's all kinds of things.
Where's that going to be held?
It's held at Sunnyside High School. It'll be from 8 to 6 on Saturday and 8 to 4 on Sunday.
Is it just kind of first come, first serve?
Yeah. Okay. So we're expecting to serve thousands of members from our community, and so we're looking for about 300 volunteers to come out, help with everything from line control to kind of event management. So anybody who's interested in volunteering, we'd love to have you, and you can register right on our website. We have a few different shifts available.
That's nice and easy. Okay. What's that website?
It's handsoncentralcal.org, and there's a search bar. You can put in Healthy Fresno, and it'll pull up the list of opportunities.
Now, I get the feeling from your website that folks can go on and look for volunteer opportunities as well. So say, I've got a couple hours this Saturday. Let's see what's out there. How interconnected is your website?
It's very. We have postings from hundreds of local nonprofit organizations, so you can actually go on and use it as a resource to find out what opportunities are available, look for your favorite nonprofit organization to get connected, and it's a really neat database where you can actually store your volunteer service hours and kind of keep track of what you've been doing as a volunteer over the years.
Now, here's something that I've stumbled across in various places are volunteering with children. I mean, I have a 12-year-old daughter who we only through exception, and just because I know some folks, have we been able to go and volunteer at the SBCA because she's young.
Right.
And I want very much to teach her to have that heart for a volunteer spirit. How do we, obviously how we get kids involved, I think, is by the parent acting, but how do you involve kids? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Hands On has a great program we call Generation On, and it's specifically for youth volunteers. We have events throughout the year that we like to engage those youth volunteers in. Yeah, and we also have a summer program that we do. So we actually, it's kind of like a volunteer camp for youth. We actually take them and teach them about different issue areas in the community, and we actually take them out using adult volunteer leaders to different organizations so they get an idea of what all the different issue areas we have in our community are. So they do everything from, working with the Valley Animal Center to helping out at the Ronald McDonald House, packing food at the food bank. So there's a lot of variety.
And those are each so incredibly special for what we have here. So for that child, do they have to be accompanied by a parent, or do I sign a document and turn my child over to you and say, just go with God and bring me back in one piece?
Yeah, I mean, we always encourage family volunteering because it's a great way to connect as a family.
Sure.
But the Generation On program does allow parents to, send their child off to volunteer. And we have great AmeriCorps members that lead that program and other adult volunteers that help manage the kids during the events.
Well, I know now starting in schools, they're asking kids to do different community volunteer hours. That's just started where she goes to school.
Right.
And I just found it was a bit of a challenge, again, because of her age.
Yes.
And yet this is such a time to teach them.
Yeah.
to get involved and,
And
to do things.
it is difficult sometimes to find an opportunity for youth, but a great, use us as a contact. We know a lot of our
Absolutely.
partner agencies that will take youth volunteers on a regular basis.
Okay.
So we can help get you connected and
You're
help.
my solution.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
didn't I think of
definitely.
that? That's amazing. Well, so you have something here for Cart Hop.
We do.
What do you guys do? Cart Hop is such an amazing thing. We eat incredible food that's all sourced here locally.
Yes.
What do you guys do for Cart Hop?
Well, this is something new. It just started a couple weeks ago, and we're actually doing Cart Hop at Eaton Plaza. And so we're having all of the really great food trucks out there, along with art and music, to support the Water Tower and Art by Hand, which is Hands-On's local art shop, basically. So you can go there and find beautiful artwork from a lot of local vendors, and also support Hands-On at the same time, because it's a fee-based section of our organization that helps support all of our volunteer efforts in the community.
How do you find the artists that have put their works up here at Eaton Plaza in the Water Tower?
Well, we have a website for the Water Tower for Art by Hand, so you can check out, kind of what we have there. But all of the whole entire Art by Hand is completely volunteer run. So we have a committee of volunteers who do nothing but run the Water Tower for us. And
That's
so
a lot of work.
it is. It's really great.
Wow, that's
it's really
awesome.
great.
What kind of handmade items would I find there?
Oh, anything from painted items, sketching, sculptures, woodwork. I mean, hair pieces, scarves.
So varied.
Very.
So varied.
It's really incredible work out there.
Well, I very sadly, unfortunately, Twee Boutique, which wasn't too far away from here, is going to be closing soon.
Oh, no.
I know, it's very, very sad news. So I think that you might be that one-stop final source of handmade items that are done here locally.
Yeah, and we are really proud of it, and so being able to have this Art by Hand in the middle of our downtown to help with revitalization and get the culture and the art out there to people is really something that we are very proud of.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, tell folks again, just one more time, where they can find you and your website, because I definitely want to get our viewers hooked in to Hands-On Central California to get some great volunteers for you.
Yeah, so you can visit us at handsoncentralcal.org. You can create your own volunteer profile and really get connected to the community through service. And we're located at 732 North Van Ness, which is just a block away from the Tower District.
Yes, you're a stone's throw.
Yeah.
I know, that is so exciting. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for giving us this wonderful information and really just taking away all of our excuses. We need to volunteer more and make this community a better place because we all live here. Well, again, I want to thank Jared Gordon, who was my guest talking about Measure F, and I want to thank Chuck Leonard from Central Valley Buzz, making sure that we keep you on track for Valentine's Day. And again, thanks to Nicole from Hands-On Central California. That's a one more spin cycle in the can. We'll be right here next week. And remember, always be yourself, unless you can be a unicorn. In that case, definitely be the unicorn. Thanks for joining us.
I'm the owner and CEO of Central Valley Talk. We produce live programs that broadcast 24 hours per day on the internet website, centralvalleytalk.com. If you like local talk radio, you'll love centralvalleytalk.com. You can watch our local programming on your computer or on your iPhone.
Fat Man's Alley, Hungry Howie's, and Scoops Ice Cream. Tower Health Food, Samba Steakhouse, Mike Briggs Properties. There's Tower Market, Farmers Market too. Kuka's and Landmark, Mr. Sushi for you. Chicken Pie Shop, Fulton's Pulley, Palomino's, Spinner's Records, Tower Bike Shop, Irene's To Go, Bobby Sal's Restaurant, The Perfect Blend and Million Elephant, H&R Block, Starbucks Coffee, Piemonte's, Roger Rocca's Dinner Theater, The Second Space, Tower Tattoos, La Tienda, Me and Ed's is the place. International Furniture, a review cafe. Teasers Realty Market, Love Oak knows the way. Typhoon Restaurant, The Game Preserve, and B of A. Sequoia Brewing, Russo Restaurant, Tower Clocks Today. Come to the tower, there's so much fun for everyone. Every morning, every evening, ain't we got fun?
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Do you and your loved ones feel safe and secure in your home? Now the #1 rated security system in America is offering this special for a limited time, a complete home security system with free equipment, no install fee, and no activation fee. Just a low monitoring fee for only $19.99 a month. Call now, 270-4697. That's 270-4697. A complete home security system for only $19.99 a month. Get the protection you need and should have for your home and family. Call now, 270-4697.
If you like pool or billiards, you would love the Break Room, located near Ashland and 99 by the Foster's Freeze. On Sunday nights, enjoy dollar beer. Tuesday, ladies play for free. Wednesday, take advantage of unlimited play for only $5. And come on out every Thursday for our beer pong tournament. Did you know that the largest local amateur pool league plays at the Break Room? If you want to join a league, call the Break Room at 276-9000. 276-9000. Come thirsty and come hungry. The Break Room has a large selection of beer and ballpark-style snacks, all at a reasonable price. Let's play pool at the Break Room at Ashland and 99.
Mike Briggs Properties has a very special historic property for sale that can be used as a home or as a business. This classic California craftsman historical home is located in the Tower District, Fresno High area. The interior ambiance displays a heyday of craftsman aesthetics, substance, strength, symmetry, and casual grace. Elegantly appointed mahogany and oak structural elements integrate form and function in a harmonious flow from room to room in this two-story, 4,500-foot home. The property also includes a nearly 800-foot, two-bedroom apartment above the garage. This property is well suited for a professional office type of business or for a large family or combined living and workspace. The lot included with this property is park-sized with plenty of room for expansion or as a parking lot big enough to support a commercial business. For more information on this property, call Mike Briggs Properties at 486-6758. Mike Briggs Properties, 486-6758.
CentralValleyTalk.com.